Give everybody at home an idea. How many boots, how many kits, total pieces in this collection are we talking? And could you give us a value range? I don't need a number.
I love that straight to the money, huh? All right. There's two ways of looking at this, Roy. It's the heart value, and I say that as in what it makes you feel. And it's the same way people look at art, right? And they're like, buy art if you like art. So this stuff makes me feel. So some of this is priceless to me.
Welcome back to another edition of the Guuzan Show. I'm your host, Brad Guzan. Sat next to me, as always, Joe Freihofer. Joe, we have got an unbelievable show today. We know that soccer is of high importance this summer with the World Cup on the horizon. But to know where we're going, I think we need to go back and know and understand where we've been and where we've come from. And so for that, on this episode, I would like to welcome none other than the Boot King onto the Guuzan Show. Thank you for being here. It is an absolute honor to have you on the show. We can see we've got a few pieces of some unbelievable memorabilia, and I know these pieces are only going to increase with importance as this show goes on. So welcome.
Thanks, man. It's awesome to be here.
Boot King, talk us through the origin of this collection. At what age did it start? When did you know that your obsession for football went a little bit deeper than the average fan, would you say?
Yeah, well, I like to introduce myself saying I have a problem, and I'm addicted. I'm addicted to football and collecting items. And, you know, I think a lot of people do have collecting things when they're younger. Marbles, Pokemon cards, and I don't know. A soccer ball to me, a football, it just kind of spoke to me. And, you know, I think the first time I really understood that these things have meaning and value was probably when I met Pele when I was real young.
What a name.
And I know I say that nonchalantly, and like, because I was fortunate enough to meet him a couple of times on the journey. But yeah, that's when it was like, dude, you know, this is the gravitas that guy had and just like his aura. And I was like, all right, I'm in. I like this stuff. And I just, you know, I got my first Brazil shirt, and he says it's like, Domon Amigo, Boot King is what it should say now, but it doesn't say that, but I won't tell you what it says. And it's like Pele, and he's just like, keep the ball rolling, man. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep the ball rolling by preserving these memories of like boot collections and jerseys.
When you say preserving memories, give everybody at home an idea. How many boots, how many kits, total pieces in this collection are we talking? And could you give us a value range? I don't need a number.
I love that straight to the money, huh? All right. Let's say it's
we've got security outside the door of this podcast.
Legit. And you guys had the trophy tour here the other day. That was awesome, by the way. And, you know, I actually have a match-worn boot by Puyol. I didn't bring it today. But, look, there's two ways of looking at this, Roy. It's the heart value, and I say that as in what it makes you feel. And it's the same way people look at art, right? And they're like, buy art if you like art. So this stuff makes me feel. So some of this is priceless to me. But, I mean, you're looking here at the journey. I mean, the 94, that first Pred there, that changed the game of boots. I mean, and some would say potentially saved Adidas in the boot game. It's a weird boot. I mean, like, if you look at it now, I don't know if you'd actually want to wear this thing, but it's like, but what does that mean? This takes me back to my youth, and I remember looking at these things and just being, wow. Like, the story this boot will tell with the amount of people that wear it and what they'll do with it. Like, dude, that's awesome, huh? But feel this. This is just like hardcore old school leather, man.
I mean, just for our listeners that are maybe listening in the car and they're not able to actually see what we're talking about.
Well, they should pull over, man. They should pull over.
I agree.
Or if they're in Atlanta traffic, if they're in traffic, they'd be fine, huh?
This is also true. This is also true. Clearly, you've experienced
I did this morning. It took me a long time. The good thing is I had an escort because of this stuff, and that'll give you an indication of the value. Like, we'll get into individual items rather than saying total value, because the total value is what you're willing to pay, right? But I can tell you a range of what someone might pay for one of these things because people approach me all the time.
I mean, it's amazing what's on the table here, Joe. I mean, we've got original, pristine condition Predators that were first brought out 1994. I mean, these are unbelievably kept.
And what's interesting about that one especially is like no crack in the sole, huh? Look at that. that's a work of art, because those things, there wasn't much flexibility back then, and so they tend to crack in time. Just history takes its course, but those are uncracked, huh? So that makes it real special. There's a lot of people have them probably out there. Well, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of collectors, so I would say a lot of people have them, but uncracked is what you're looking for with that boot, with that cleat. And they've never actually been laced either. I like that, because especially with the rigid old leather there, it changes the integrity of the boot. So unlaced in that particular model is really important to me as a collector.
I mean, I'm speechless.
For me, Boot King, it's the toe pad texture as well. Some of this early technology of how can we have some added touch? How can you get a bit more whippage here with the insole as well?
Yeah, man. If someone's hitting it with their heel, it's kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, I wish Goody had worn them, because El Tacon de Dios. You remember when he hit that back heel to Benzema? Like, dude, that's maybe the best back heel ever. And I wish it was in a Predator.
I mean, it's
in the original one.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine wearing this.
Yeah, but you're a big guy. You got a big kick, huh?
Yeah,
You probably get the full length of the field, huh? Couple more goals in your career wearing those,
exactly.
Huh? But you're, hey man, I respect your choice of brand, so I won't call you out on it.
Good team guy.
Yeah,
big team guy.
Well,
I mean, it's amazing to know that's where it started, especially for Adidas, in terms of the Predator, in terms of the technology, and to hear your passion for the first boot and what it means, I think is truly remarkable, because I know we've got a few more on the table as you start to then fast forward and move on into a little bit better technology, a little bit lighter leather, maybe not so much rubber on the boot itself. Talk about the next pair.
Yeah, man. So I think when you look at the next iteration, there was a Predator that came out in 95. I like it. It's cool. It doesn't mean as much to me as the next iteration, which was 98. And for me, 98 is a landmark World Cup for a lot of reasons. I think that's where Adidas and Nike, the real battle began. And I think if you look at that World Cup, the two protagonists, should we say, Zidane and Ronaldo. Zidane wearing the iconic accelerator, black and red and white, which you could say actually David Beckham was wearing it too at that time, and Mark Overmars and a lot of other players. And I say the protagonist, you could say David Beckham's a protagonist in that World Cup because of what happened to him. But let's focus on Zidane and Ronaldo, because it ended up with them in the World Cup final, obviously. And that's when you look at with these ones here. There's actually the black and red pair, which Virginia will bring out in a bit, and there's a reason we're holding that back. But these speak to the heart of anybody who fell in love with soccer during that time, man. Like 94 World Cup was cool, don't get me wrong, but 98, oh my goodness, what a World Cup, huh? So many stories, such drama, and just everything. I mean, you even go to the kids, right? It was just like, I love the 94 kids, right? And I was buying jerseys forever, but in 98, I can tell you where I was standing when I saw the Brazil 98 jersey with Ronaldo 9 and the 9 on the front, and you as a fan could buy that jersey. For the first time, I could buy what the player exactly was wearing on the field, and that elevated everything in my book. And for me as a collector, damn, that's what I needed. And so 98 is awesome. And I look at these different boots, and they different. Like, I see this cleat, this boot. Who do you see, man? Tell me when you see that boot, think about who you see. And I think you've played against him, huh? I think you may have even saved a penalty from him.
Go on, tell the people.
Del Piero.
Hey! Now, but he's like, and if you think about that year of Del Piero before the injury,
ooh.
I mean, you're talking like that 96 to before the World Cup in 98, because Vieri really stole that one, it feels like, for Italy maybe, or that was 94. But
Can we talk about the stud in the middle?
Yeah, the blades, man.
Yeah.
And again, like, look at that. That's a uncracked cleat. It's beautiful. We got the rubber band to keep the tongue down, to keep the integrity there. These do have laces, because they came with laces and take them out, and then we put a little tissue paper in there to keep it. But what's awesome is look at the little character on the inside of the boot. You see him there?
Oh, yeah, you see that? I didn't
You see
even
that's
notice
fresh, huh? So that's how you know
It's the details.
how
It's the details.
like mint condition that is. And if you look on the box there, which is actually for the electricity, you'll see the little character on the left. So that's an original accelerators box. Yeah, you'll see him on the bottom here. The character, you have to lift it up. Nope, struggling here, but the boot looks great. Still struggling. Boot looks right. There we go. Okay, right. Put it towards me, and you see the characters there and the characters in the boot. It's a cool little touch, man. And that's an old school box. That's an original box, and that's just an extra detail. And there's a little pamphlet in there. So these are awesome boots.
I think I'm most impressed with the box. I mean, the condition of the box to be able to hold on to these. The different colorways. We've got the white ones, we've got red ones, and we've got the neon yellow ones.
And we have the original, which we'll show in a bit. Virginia's just holding it back.
Boot King, before we get to these right here, what lengths do you go to keep everything in this condition? Are we talking a cryo chamber at home? You got a secret lab?
No, it's in a temperature-controlled room, but it's actually in storage. That's where I keep them. I don't keep them at home. And I, sometimes like I'll do a rotation in the house of some memorabilia, and we can talk about what goes up when we get to the jerseys, because, it may be the romantic in me, but I think it's a testament to the player to be on my wall. I know that's a big thing, but like I think there's no greater honor for a player to be on the wall of a fan. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the ultimate thing. I think, if you went in to see a fan's your jersey's up and you're like, man, I meant something to these people. I'm not saying my wall is the greatest. It was a great wall.
I mean, it sounds pretty great.
But yeah. So, you keep them temperature controlled. I keep them in. I have this thing that removes the humidity from the room, because that's a killer for some of these things. And then sometimes bubble wrap, but you still want them to breathe too. It's a weird one. They got to breathe, but you got to protect them. And yeah, it's just like it's a dance. And I happen to like that dance, but there's a lot. My wife's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, but then I look at some things she did, and I'm like, that's awesome, but this is my thing, huh? And so you got to care for anything you care for. I think that's the main thing, and so. And different people have different ways of adapting. Like in Asia, where a lot of these cleats and boots are, man, like Asia's got a lock on the market. There's a guy in Thailand I tell you, there's a guy in Spain who has a killer collection overall too. But that's difficult. And when you're sourcing these boots through a boot broker, legit, there are guys that do that with authenticity. It's a bit like when you're buying a classic car. It's better to buy it from California because it's dry. Like, you got to be careful when buying from Asia, not because the Asian market's not honest and they got the best product. It's just super humid in some of the Asian markets, so you got to make sure there's no flaking and stuff,
When you talk about these different contacts you have in Asia, in Spain, is there an encrypted group chat? Is there a secret website? Where does the Boot King do business?
Oh, man, I don't want to endorse a platform, I don't get paid to be endorsed a platform. But no, I mean, like, you build it up over time. I use the same ones like WhatsApp and stuff. And, you build a trust when you're first in the game, and then people get to know who you are. And, Boot King is what I use when I'm doing interviews, but what I'm using to buy and purchase is a different name. And that's okay, and that's cool. And the boot brokers know who you are, and that's awesome. And sometimes if they've helped me source a boot, they come back and say, hey, what's your price? And I'm like, hey, I'm not a seller. That's not what I'm trying to do.
He's a collector. And big shout out to his wife for allowing the collection. I mean,
the boot queen.
Yes,
if you will.
I've got a few things of my own. My wife's always like, can we get rid of this stuff? And I'm always in the
man,
absolutely
that's so weird
no.
because like you're an athlete, man. You're part of the history of the game. Like,
I enjoy it just from the different experiences. But you talk about the experiences of where you were when you bought a certain jersey, when you had these boots, and obviously, I have that same memory and not nearly as prestigious as these boots.
But the thing is, with you is you've actually lived the dream. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to participate in the dream here, which I love doing.
Well, this is
and it's weird. I've got credibility by participating this way. But you're a professional soccer player. You've lived the dream, huh?
No,
that's
for sure.
awesome.
And big shout out to my wife. She allows me to stack up boxes and boxes of
well, make sure they're in a temperature control.
Well, now I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna go check everything to make sure.
Well, they shouldn't even be in your house, man. They should be in storage, dude.
Well,
Come on,
I'm
dude.
learning something new every day.
Yeah,
All right.
dude. I'm here to educate, man.
Joe, I'm taking the day off tomorrow. I'm moving everything into a storage unit.
Yeah, but we need the escort, dude. Like Brad Guzan moving memorabilia. That's a big deal, huh?
Does the Boot King have any Brad Guzan things on the gray wall? Or is that to be done
No,
after
man.
today?
I mean, that's, I don't like to lead a horse to water, but that's the dream, man. To have one of those, huh? I'd love to have a Brad Guzan
Well,
thing.
listen,
I
I've
respect,
got a few things that I can just go get from the untemperature controlled room. And
man. I mean, you're a legend of the game, huh? I like legit. I watched you in the Prem, dude. I've seen you when you're at Chivas, right? It's an honor for me to sit here and talk to you, because I am a fan that has evolved into a collector of the game, but I'm collecting the memories that you participated in creating for people. So that's like, there's no greater honor than that, man, for me. So I appreciate being
pulling
here.
pulling on the
No, but it's
heartstrings,
honestly, these are not cleats. These are timelines. These are memories. These are, like, if we want to talk about the R9 collection when we're talking.
Well, that's where I want
memories.
to go next,
All right.
because we've got these two out here, and I know we've got a special pair in the box.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
Well, man, 98, dude. That's it. Like, I'll tell you the first time I saw this cleat. You remember when it came out? Oh, man, and you can't unsee this cleat, man.
Oh,
This
it's
is-
in bubble wrap.
Yeah.
He's just opened an unbelievable, pristine box from
but,
1998.
Like, look at this, dude.
For
Wrapped
everybody
in bubble
listening
wrap.
to, we are fully gloved up, cotton gloves.
Now, this.
Oh, my goodness.
This is 98 right there. And think of the image of Ronaldo when it went wrong in the final. I mean, he had the different cleat on that time, but he had the different blades. But this boot changed the game, huh? This is it. This is the grail. When you talk to boot collectors, this is the grail.
The first thing I see is just step overs. Endless step overs.
But it
just
takes
that
you there,
colorway
right?
in a blur.
So,
Yeah.
and that's I mean, you can't beat it, huh? So much so that they re-released this cleat. I have the re-release. There were actually 15 pairs made of a different cleat 2 version. That's very hard to find. I know one person that's got it, but man, he's asking a lot of money. It's probably worth it, but
Made in Italy.
yeah, dude, that's the grail, man. And I can tell you the first time I saw that cleat in a store, I can tell you it was a soccer scene on Connery Street in London, which is now being, unfortunately, it's part of a much bigger soccer franchise store now. But back in the day, that was like the place. And I remember seeing them, and the guy, he was like, "This is the shoe. This is the shoe," is what the man told me in the store. And I was like, yeah, that is the shoe. And it is the shoe. And like, people will try and create iconic boots, dude. Like, but that is it, man. That and the Predator Accelerator 98 is just beautiful, man. And the way it shimmered in the lights in France, and just all the storylines. And this guy, I mean, you tell me, more about football, but when you read the stories about this guy, it's a what if he hadn't gotten those knee injuries, huh? Because what he was doing, just wild, man. And like, I mean, you tell me.
He was setting the standard. He was setting the standard. He was raising the bar to heights that had never been reached before, and he was breaking barriers. We need to be extremely careful.
Yeah. So I mean, and when you
Wrap
talk
that
about
back up in the
range,
bubble
huh?
wrap.
This is one way we can talk about range. I mean, it depends on what a collector's willing to pay, but this is $7,000 probably at the moment, I would guess, maybe more now, but you know.
Priceless.
But for me, yeah, that's what it is. It takes me back to a moment, and and I was with my mom when we got, and I was like, whoa, and I kind of like this idea that at that age, and I won't tell you how old I was because then you'll figure out who I am. It's a memory with my mom too, and that's cool. Yeah, and I just remember I used to go to Carnaby Street all the time, and that's where I'd go by, and they kind of got to know me in there because I would go deep into what I was looking for. So it's awesome, dude. It's awesome to have that. I literally just went back to Carnaby Street, to soccer scene, during talking to you about it. And then what I love about this iteration is you could argue this was one of the most heartbreaking moments for a player. I still think Zidane is the king, so I'm torn by 98. But R9, I mean, what happened we'll never really know. And that's what there's even more gravitas to this boot, man, because this was the one. So when you get to 2002, the time for redemption, it's the chili lime.
Oh.
Now this has been worn in a photo shoot once, so you can see here, but it's still got the tag. But this is a chili lime. Like, I've seen actually a couple more of these circulating than the chili limes. Chili lime is a real hard boot to get. they did do a remake of it, but I mean, feel how light that one is too, man.
How
Like,
light, the size,
and
of
you
the
can see this is
studs.
instead. You remember on the other one they had the R9 on the inside. Here it is, the R9 on the outside. But that the tongue down is David Beckham. Huh? That's he owns that, and like, but this you can see it with the haircut and him in the blue cycling shorts under the shorts and the finger in the air, and you just see the chili lime like. And in Japan and Korea, and it's just at night, and these cleats just shimmered underneath the floodlights, man. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, and like, wow.
You mentioned these boots part of a photo shoot.
Yeah.
Do we know who was modeling these boots?
On these ones, I don't know exactly. I mean, this comes from a very reputable source,
Right.
So it's probably. I mean, who knows? I wouldn't like to lead there because then you're opening questions of what if, of what not, and
No, of course.
it
We're
changes.
only about definites around.
Yeah, and you just don't want to open that ambiguity. Like, this is a chili lime cleat, and I have the box down there, and the boot bag for it, which is cool, man. And then you go into 2006, and Ronaldo is wearing the Samba.
Oof.
And he gets the 15th goal, the step over against Ghana, I think. Now, Klose has equaled that now. But, and so that's the Ronaldo story. I have his career right here. Now, people are like, you should have the blue and white, and the black and blue and white ones. But, yeah, and I know those look great when he played at Inter Milan, don't get me wrong. And talking about the international story, because that's the beauty of it, because the international story is always his love for Brazil, Because when you talk about the club boots for that guy, I respect him a lot. He changed a lot of clubs. He played for Barcelona, he played for PSE, he played for AC Corinthians, Real Madrid. The dude played for a few teams, Not like
Some big clubs, some absolutely massive clubs. And you can see the colorway in terms of, the Brazil colors, and I mean. The boots are so iconic, and I love the story that they tell, but the ability for you to tell that story, I think, is tremendous. And
yeah, man, well, I appreciate the opportunity to tell you guys about it, because
for sure. And then I know we've got a few more down there.
Yeah, man. Well,
I know there's a pair of boots down there that are quite special.
Yeah. Well, Virginia, would you just maybe when we're talking about artists and Brazilian Samba, the one in the black bag first would be great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Now, when we talk about the art of the game, can we get the roof cam so they can see that? I don't, this man needs no introduction, huh? I mean, some would say, from a skill level, the most, when you talk to people at Barcelona during his time there, he was doing stuff with the ball people had never seen. And he talks about looking at the NBA to learn how they're doing it and then brought that to football. So you could say he even started some of this cross-collaboration that you see now.
And who are we talking about for
I
the
think
listeners?
you have to introduce the man, huh?
Oh,
Ronaldinho?
oh my goodness.
The golden slipper, huh?
Oh
Ronaldinho?
my goodness.
And this is the thing. I mean, this is during his Milan days. Don't get me wrong, but
let it be known for our listeners, these are signed. These are signed by the man himself.
You want to hold them up? Yeah, look at that. This is
Oh my goodness.
Ronaldinho, huh? So this is in the Milan days, which obviously, but still, think of that, the red and black jersey with the white collar with Seedorf, with all those guys, and him wearing it, him dancing to the San Siro, like this boot, maybe the cleat isn't as valuable as some of the others, but the man, the prince, and Neymar, I guess they call the prince, getting called up to World Cup squad, the prince is called back. But this guy, he's still fans when they do those Legends games, all come to see him, man, and see his tricks. Do you ever play against him? Do you cross pass him?
I didn't, unfortunately.
Probably a good thing, huh?
Yeah, very good thing. Very good thing.
Yeah.
You're picking the ball back in the net a few times. You talk about iconic footballers, and you've already dropped a few names of plenty of iconic footballers, but he's certainly up there with them. You talk about legends of the game and how he changed the game, how he played the game. Absolutely unbelievable. And to see those, those are.
Yeah, I like these
special.
ones a lot. I have a fondness for them. If you want to talk about other legends of the game, The Emperor of Rome.
What do you
Toddy.
have? What do you have down there?
Can you bring us the gold box, please? I mean, the Emperor of Rome. I love this guy, one club guy.
Thanks, Virginia.
Thank you. Sorry, I don't mean to tell you what to do, but I kind of need your help, huh? But let's talk about the Emperor of Rome, huh? And everything. Like, if you're romantic, and Roma as a club to be the Emperor of is pretty cool. Like, De Rossi's the dude too, but there's only one Emperor of Rome. And it's this guy. So these are awesome boots. These are limited edition Nike boots. I really like these. Let's open them up. And they got the lovely boot bag. The colorway is awesome. These are 96 of 2,500 made in the world, but I could argue there are a few that are brand new in box that are signed by the Emperor himself. Huh? Like, look at the
Joe, look at this.
Look at the base of this cleat, man.
That's
huh?
unbelievable.
Look at
I'm
this.
being blinded by the shine.
I mean,
on
look
this.
at that, huh?
Is
Look at
this?
the heel?
Did you treat the base of these?
Nah,
This
man,
is
it's
how
just
they
it's
came?
untouched, huh?
It's the shine of the glory of
and
Rome.
this is number 96 of 2,500 ever made of these boots. And then I'm sure some people have them signed too. I mean, but for me, that's pretty cool. The Emperor. And I have a Toddy sign. I have a couple of Toddy signed jerseys. Really respect the man as a player. I've crossed paths with him. Humble guy as well. Huh?
You have cross paths?
Yeah, briefly, but I'm a big fan of these. These are real special to me.
Can we talk about the respect that these iconic footballers have for the Boot King? You know, crossing paths with these guys. And there's a mutual respect. Well, there's a mutual respect that obviously an admiration that you have for them, but there's a respect from them to you.
Well, I think what's
of what
happened
you do
is
and
probably
how you care for it.
Yeah, I mean, in some level, maybe I'm helping preserve the game. I don't know. Can I hand that back to you? And then we're talking about other kings of the game. And if you bring the blue box, that would be great. And then we can get into jerseys and then the final. This one, now this is not an original box,
Careful
but
the box.
sometimes stuff comes your way, and it doesn't matter what box you got to get it, huh? But like, I don't even know if I need to introduce this one, huh? Just be careful with this one, huh?
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that's the one. Huh? I mean, now this obviously relative to today has so much. I mean, because it's unworn, it's got the man 10 Argentina flag, the name of the kids on it, and this is the cleat, the version of the cleat that he wore when he came to America and scored that first goal in the League's Cup. Do you remember that when he came? I mean, wild time, right?
Cruz Azul, right?
Yeah, and it's like the 94th minute, dude. And I was actually at the game, and I remember being like, "There's no way." And then I was like, "He's gonna do it." And bang, it went in the top corner. And this is the colorway of the crazy fast cleat he was wearing. And as I said, I don't have the original box, but sometimes stuff comes along, it doesn't matter about the box. This one is legit. I mean, when you think of stature in the game, that's this. Does it get bigger than that cleat? I don't know, huh? I don't know.
I mean,
you could argue maybe one of the crazy fast Argentina colorway is probably what he wore in the World Cup in 2022 maybe. But if you think in the American market and what happened when he scored that goal and the attention and the wild thing is I just always with that game remember like everybody getting their phones out when he's coming on the field, and then David Beckham just sitting. I mean, you've crossed paths with Mr. Beckham. I don't know him personally, but you've said some amazing things about him and just taking in the moment, huh?
He's seeing flashes of a playoff series victory right now. I know this man.
Yeah,
that's where his mind went.
and the final result or ending up in the net?
Man.
Or a bit of both.
Yeah, man. Well, with the Pistolero, and you had some beef, huh?
I mean, the tension
but that's what the game's
was high.
about, right?
Yeah, the tension was high, and
good for you for standing your ground, by the way, huh?
Well, I was thankful the net was there to catch me, but yeah, I mean, we were able to bounce back, and I think.
But dude, what? Like, here's the thing. It's tell me about that. Like
you're
the adrenaline, huh?
You're in these moments, and you're playing against these iconic players,
and they're thinking the same about you, dude. You're too humble, man.
I don't know if that's necessarily
nah, man.
the case.
Because when you retired, when you retired, I believe Beckham posted on your retirement post.
He did.
I don't think. I mean, yeah, give yourself some credit, dude, man. Like,
Hey, you know what? Boot King, you're always welcome back on the show.
Well,
what
we'll
a guy.
see. We'll see.
What a guy.
Virginia may not want us back, but the rest. Do you want to talk some jerseys?
Let's do it. Let's do
and
it.
then I'd like
Please.
to wrap with who I think is the king. We have a
Okay.
jersey shirt combo. But
Okay.
like my favorite player, and you didn't even ask me, actually, how rude is that? You should ask me who my favorite player is.
Talk to me. Who's your favorite player?
Is he a certain? Let's start here. Number 10.
Yeah. Well, I think you can see I have a romance for the 10s,
Let's narrow it
and
down.
the number 1s.
Hey,
Did
big shout out to the goalkeepers.
he have a wicked way of striking the ball first time off a corner, volleying it perhaps into the top left-hand corner a couple times?
Well, yeah. No, he's the king. He's the king. You think about my favorite player though is the Iceman. The Iceman is probably my favorite player, Dennis Bergkamp. I just think because I'm an Arsenal fan, you know, I love the Gunners, and I think
Exciting times for them.
Well, yeah, but you know, let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's still a game to go. There's still Budapest. I'm actually going to go to Budapest, which is awesome.
No kidding.
Planning
Yeah.
to come back with anything besides
No, man,
a
you know,
trophy
that-
or like some.
The thing is, that game is about experiencing the game. I don't want to get distracted by, you know, like, and some collectors might want to meet there, but I'm there for the game. I'm there to support the team, my
Love the
team.
game.
You know, I'm not even going to try and get. I want to go there to watch the game in the fans, and you know, and not worry about this other stuff. I may regret it, and I may do some chasing, but I just want to be there for the game. But for me, the Iceman, you think back to his signing for Arsenal, Dennis Bergkamp, like he changed it. I mean, Wenger then defined the new Arsenal, but like we can start with this one.
we can try and lay that
yeah.
down.
Yep.
That might be best. Look at
Like,
that.
I mean, that's the anniversary jersey, which was his final season, And like, I mean, think of all the goals that guy scored. I think he's the only guy to have in goal of the month, first, second, and third for like in '98. You know, against Leicester, I think they were all three. And then of course, you know, the volley and the bring down. His touch was just, I mean,
Magnetic.
yeah, and people said he had an edge to him too. You know, they said he was nasty on the field, and I don't know, and the Iceman. I just like, but cool, but man, apparently he was nasty, and I think you know, you could be that back in the day. I think the game's evolved. I mean, you tell me. I think
Yeah,
back
it's
you used
changed.
to be a
It's
little bit
changed.
more able to be more physical back.
For sure. And you know, it's the game has evolved. But when you look at shirts like this,
Yeah.
This
we're
one's-
bringing
this
another
one,
one.
huh?
This
This
is the craziest kit.
Yeah,
For me,
because but
the
the
top
thing-
two kit Arsenal's ever released, next to the banana kit. Boot King. Thoughts on that?
The bruised banana is awesome, and like what's interesting is Arsenal have done like 3 iterations of this by Adidas, and Adidas are crushing the jersey game right now, but I love this old school with the old felt numbers before the plastic, and with Arsenal on the back of the jersey.
I like
and
the OG Nike logo
yeah,
on the
man,
front.
and this is. Did you cross paths with the Iceman on that? Probably again a good thing if you didn't.
I didn't. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. You got some iconic pieces.
Well, there's another
between-
Bergkamp, and I like this one because this is Invincible season, you know.
This, for some reason, makes me think of Vieira. I don't know why.
Well, I think you think of Henry in this one, especially in Invincibles, because he had the matching colorway with the boots and the shorts, and this is when Henry was arguably the best player on the planet. But for me, it's always Iceman. And you know what I respect and admire about him is as different strike partners came, he evolved his game. You know.
Yeah, of course. You had to, but I mean, the players he's playing with, absolute world class.
Yeah.
World class.
But I think if he was playing with me, I'd still score a few goals because he's so good.
He would make you better, absolutely. I mean, you are already top, but a little bit more, that 1% better, I think.
Yeah, I mean, certainly now with my knee and hamstring injury, but back in the day, I'd like to think I'd be a good compliment for him.
I could see you.
Yeah,
out
man.
there just pulling the
Yeah.
strings and
So-
lacing it up.
And then, we're talking about more jerseys, like you talking about World Cup moments. I mean, this one I love.
This is iconic.
Yeah, it's a. Now this is when you get into interesting things in the jersey game, right? Because the Bergkamp ones are all original jerseys, right? But it was before the authentic replica game, and then this is a remake of the 1996 jersey, but you didn't have that there. But it's signed by 9 of 11 of the winning team. which, whether or not you love England as a country, I think it's a dope country personally. And they gave us the sport, and I wanted to get this because of the romance it is for the England fans, who I just love, man, and like
the passion they have for football is unbelievable. Let me ask you a question. When you have a team signed shirt like this, 9 of the 11 from the winning team, do you go in? Do you try and get the final piece after the signatures are there, or are you out there getting the signatures yourself?
No, man. I mean, fortunate again to being in the right places as well.
All about timing.
Yeah, no, but and also, I think if you can get to the right people and explain like you're a collector and what this means, people will try and help you achieve that. Like I certainly when I've been in the position to, and like, hey, can you? I'll help. Because if it's done for the right reasons, what I don't like is people getting stuff signed and shoving it in players' faces and then going off and selling it. That's not cool, huh?
No, definitely.
No, and like I understand why icons and all these companies have popped up, and it makes a lot of sense. I think players want to sign for fans, but like be honest with what you're going to do with it. So I see a lot of players now demanding a name.
Yeah, so I think there's certainly because collectors and people out there that ruin it for collectors like yourself.
It's a real problem, actually, and it ruins that interaction with the player and the fan, because rightly a player, when they're like putting 20 jerseys down, the player's going to say no. And now with social media, hey, this player said no. It's like, no, man. Like when people are putting, I saw some footage the other day of somebody like getting to sign a template transfer of a jersey number 10 so they can go home and then print it on the jersey and probably photocopy it. Like, I don't like that. Like, be a true collector, be a true fan, and I believe the players will respect and embrace that.
Words of wisdom.
As a collector, what's the craziest length you've gone to?
To
acquire a boot or a kit?
So, man, for me, I love the Regista Pirlo, man. I love him. He's so cool as a player, as a guy, as just a dude. Like, when I was living in New York, I used to see him in this bar all the time, and that was kind of cool because we sort of, he would acknowledge me because, it was just like, hey. But before that, there was a time we me and my baby mama and my wife now, we were in this hotel. We knew they were staying there, and a friend, we were gonna go watch the game, and like it was NYCFC, and we get Frank Lampard to sign a jersey to me and my wife, and then we come out the elevator, right? Yeah, I love this, man. I come out the elevator, and there he is, with his long hair and his beard, and I'm like, this is the Regista, and I have the Italy white jersey with 21 on the front, and it's Pirlo on the back, and normally I like to get it signed on the back, but I'm like, hang on, I'm meeting the guy face on. This shirt's got to be signed on the front, and I got my Sharpie with me. I'm like, hey, do you mind signing this? And nobody knows who he is. So he's like, yeah, of course. And he goes, who would you like it to? And I'm like, just the Boot King. Just the Boot King. And my wife's like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, and this is going on the wall, babe. Yeah. So, we went pretty far to get that, man.
That is amazing.
Yeah, just the Boot King. Just the Boot King.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, in that moment, are you letting your emotion just boil over and your excitement kind of carry you, or are you holding it together?
The thing is like, I hope my passion is because of what it is. I'm not like stalking. It's like, this is a genuine passion, and I think it's also meeting in the right situation. That would never happen in Italy, but in Boca or wherever we were, I mean, I remember Frank being like, it's nice to talk to a football fan. I'm like, yeah, man, awesome. And so it depends on the location, For sure. And it wasn't rude. It was respectful. And
that's the key word. That's the key word.
Respectful, Let's look at the next jersey. I mean, this is an important one. Obviously, Leo, the Barcelona, is important to have because everything he did at Barcelona. I know I like this jersey. I think it's the colorway. This is also before the sophistication and sublimation of prints into jerseys, so it's the classic colorway. And with the yellow, I just love this. But when you get to Leo, I don't think you can beat this one. Can we show the front of the jersey first? I'm sorry. It's just really important to see. This is the detail I'm talking about. It has the date of the World Cup final. This is not the jersey he wore in the World Cup final. It's in his size that he wears. It has the patches. And if you flip it over, there you go. I mean, it's got the signature underneath Leo at the back. So what I like about here is the balance as well. Patch, Argentina emblem, Messi. This font is forever iconic because of that indent, and then underneath is just simply Leo. You know, I respect Leo immensely as a player and everything, and it sounds weird to say I was so happy when he won it for him, but I generally was. It would have felt weird for one of the greatest players, if not the greatest, not to win it, you know? I mean, what do you think? What do you see when you see this jersey? As someone who's played in World Cups.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that jersey and you look at the name, you look at all the things that jersey has on it, from the front of it to the back of it. I like the word balance that you used. And I mean, to have him, and we know how well regarded he is around the world, but to be able to have an entire country like Argentina be able to look at him as such a god. I've played with plenty of Argentinians in the locker room, and how they look at Messi as a player,
But you've played
as an
against
individual.
him, man,
Of
too.
course,
Like,
of course.
and you've showed him who's the boss, huh?
I mean, you know,
you're a
that-
modest guy, dude, huh? You're a modest guy, like.
but
you
he is
But
godlike
he's
level.
I mean, tell me when you see a guy like that on the field, right? You
have an appreciation for what he's
on
done
the field,
for the
but
game.
you find you're just like obviously you're locked in a game, but you're just like hyper focused because this guy, you're like, it doesn't matter if he's on the halfway line, he might actually put this in the top corner.
100%.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
You're
Can you imagine
constantly-
that? Like his hamstrings are like dried Play-Doh because he's just constantly like, I may have to jump. Oh, and then the hamstring goes. Oh, God, yeah, man.
There's no need for that. No need.
Not
Yeah,
now. Not
of
when you're
course.
playing now. Your
Yeah, of
hamstring
course.
probably go.
Yeah.
You got to drink
I mean,
some more.
He's
Yeah.
still ready. He's still ready. He wouldn't say it, but he's
Unbelievable.
still
But
ready.
Stay ready, don't
on
get
blue
ready.
and white, I mean, you can't not recognize this one. I mean, this is a
I
replica
mean-
of the jersey. This is not an authentic one of Le Coq Sportif, but, you know, with Diego, and that's what I like about these two. They complement each other, these two jerseys, with the way, like, and you
Just
see
a
that?
casual Diego Maradona shirt.
Yeah.
I mean,
and, like,
Jeez.
When you think about footballers that represent the prime aesthetic of the game, you know, you think about Del Piero with the goatee lines in there as well.
He had some style, didn't
The
he?
era that we have lived up until now
Unbelievable.
is remarkable. The other one I wanted to ask you, when you find a kit, what are your steps towards authenticating it? Is it a feel? Is it a look? Do you have a guy that you call? Are you the guy? How do you know it's real?
The kid's real, man. Oh, you can tell. I mean, yeah, there are some good replicas these days, but nah, man, you know when you
He
touch it.
is the
huh?
guy. The
No,
boot king is the guy. People are calling him for
nah,
verification.
man. When you touch it, you just know. Huh? It's like when there's a weight to it. There's a flow to a jersey and the fabric and stuff. And if you have an appreciation for that sort of detail, you'll know it when you feel it. Huh? And that's just what it comes down to.
Speaking of weight, I know we've got a few more over there.
Yeah. Okay, let's bring the Samba Kings out. So first up, man, let's go. This one is awesome. 1970 replica remake, author Pele. This is another one of the Pele ones. And love Pele. Met him. He got me started in this crazy game I'm playing. So a lot of appreciation for him. We touched on this guy. I love this 2002 Ronaldinho. So awesome.
I mean,
And then actually, will you bring the second one first? I'm sorry, because we're going back in our order. And then, I mean, for me, Rivaldo often gets overlooked unfairly. I mean, remember, he is a Ballon d'Or player, but, you know, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, I mean, game over. And then, of course, if you lay this one face up, this is the 98 one that I just think is such an iconic jersey. So
all
it's a pretty
signed.
cool. All signed.
All signed, by the way.
And then when
Just-
we talk about, you know, these ones, we go into the sevens, and I like to look at these ones because there's a connection between the countries. There's Ronaldo 7. I really like. That's a strong jersey. Ballon d'Or winner, like epic. Yeah, sir. Go ahead.
This makes me think of Jermaine Jones. cuts it onto his right,
2014.
whips it side netting in 2014, back of the net.
Let's go.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I see Cristiano when I see this jersey, but okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, great player,
So
and he
it's-
played.
it's the right effect.
Awesome, but you know, this
What a
jersey, and
player,
we've
this guy.
spoken about this jersey before. There was the weird thing with the interior fabric.
Yep.
But let's not forget what a magician this guy was, huh? And like, okay, going from Barca to Real is an interesting move.
Yeah.
But he was the original Galactico before the Zizou and the Beckham came and stuff like that. And he was, I think, I mean, he won the Ballon d'Or too, and like, what an amazing player, huh? And like, he used to destroy England all the time. You know, it's just like, okay, this guy's the dude, huh?
There's not many players that can go from Barca to Madrid or vice versa, right? And be able to be loved
And still
way-
be alive, actually. You know what I mean?
One of the
True.
original villains of football too. I
Yeah.
have images of people throwing fake
Well, the
money.
pig
from
on the
yeah.
on the field,
yeah.
man. I mean, it was, yeah. And then, I mean, we're going back a bit in time, but I think we need to look at Serie A too. And we talked a lot about strikers, but if we're talking about artists of the game, Paolo Maldini's
proper
pretty
defender. Proper defender.
cool. Yeah,
Old
dude,
school.
super awesome. We talked about Del Piero and the Juve and everything he did. And what I love about Del Piero's story is, you forget, I think it was Euro 2000s. He misses that chance in the final, and he's wearing the number 10, and Totti was wearing 20 at that time. And then 2006, I think it is Totti's wearing 10 and Del Piero's wearing 7. And Lippi looks at him and he's like, I know Del Piero's going to score, and he brings him on, and he scores the winner against Germany. Like, and it's what a strike, man. And, you know, he's
The
got
story behind it, I love it.
like, and then he goes on and scores a penalty, and it's like, I like to see, you know, in movies they always talk about redeemable, and I don't know what it must be like to miss a penalty or miss a chance in a World Cup. Like, it's bad enough in my over 30 league when that happens. And I'm actually over 50, so over 30 I shouldn't be playing in it. And we talk about missing penalties, and I
Ooh,
think,
this next one.
Real quick, before we get away from the Del Piero, the Peace Cup.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he
A
saved
good
his
one.
penalty.
We're playing
huh?
Juventus in a preseason tournament, Villa Juventus. You can find the video out there in the social channels, but end up saving penalty against Del Piero. I'm over there celebrating like I won the World Cup. And he's
Yeah,
like,
as
what,
you should,
what,
bro,
What
as
is
you
this?
should,
What is this
yeah.
guy doing? You know, he's like, I can't be asked with this game. That's my Del Piero.
That's
connection.
awesome. But like, you know, Baggio, Roberto Baggio, and like this, I mean, what a weight to carry, but the thing is, on Fourier in '94 is the guy got Italy there on his own, you know, and so, I mean, and you think of him when he was in like Italy with the divine ponytail, and he kind of started it, you know, he was a bit of and like the butter on the arm. I love this man, and I think that the way, you know, it shows the cruelty of soccer too. And I think that head down, the divine ponytail, the Diodora jersey with R. Baggio, with the white font, with the gray backing, and everything he's done to get his team there. And in that moment, and he's playing with a torn hamstring. You remember he had the blue tape on the back. And I remember I was in Thailand when I watched that final, and just like the heartbreak, and you're just like, you know, man, it makes me sad. But I think he's truly loved. I think he really is, and respected, almost as much as this man, which, you know, we've talked a lot about, is Totti, who's awesome. But then we wanted, for me, the king, this guy is...
Let's talk about weight of jerseys, by the way.
Yeah,
You could
there
just
we
see
are.
the heavy. You can see the heaviness.
You're right.
Of this Zizou.
Yeah,
number 10
and let's
shirt.
talk about Zizou for
Zizou,
a minute, but then
Zizou.
security's coming to pick me up soon, dude, like legit. And I'm sorry, I've just rambled, but I get passionate about this stuff. But if you can get the aerial cam on here, look at that original 98 boot sticker here. You got the actual sizing and everything here. You know, you got the little dude, huh?
The little dude, I love
and
it.
then this is it, man. For me, I mean, people describe him as a ballet dancer with the ball, and there it is, the original red and black Pred, signed by Zizou. I mean, I just hold greatness right there, man.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that. That's it, man. That's it. That, and I mean the 98 Grail. But this guy, for me, I love Leo, Ronaldo, respect him immensely. Dennis is still my favorite player. But for me, this is the guy. I love, he just, there was something about him, and there was the nastiness. And you know what? He had that also, like, flaw that you saw in 2006, but if what was said to, you know what I mean? Like, the guy has won it. He single-handedly takes France. Don't forget the goal and and what he's done as a manager too. And he's always had a quiet sort of, I don't know, mystique about him. I have met him. Super humble, super cool guy, appreciative of the fan and the love of the game. But me, that's when you talk about, this is it, huh? Zizou.
I love to hear that part of it when you've met certain footballers and come in contact with them, how humble they are, how appreciative they are. Hearing that they're good guys, I think is wonderful to hear, because they understand their place in history. They understand what they've been able to do for the game, but also what the game's been able to do for them.
Yeah, man. And I'll tell you, like, this has been an honor to be here, and I'm going to go away and I'm going to say the same about you. Like, to spend some time with you. You're a soulful guy. You love the game. You've done amazing things. You're a champion. And I see, before I came on, I did research. I see the way you appreciate the fans, and I think this club, Atlanta United, is a juggernaut, and you're part of it, and you made it, and you're just the dude, man. And, like, I'm a boot king, and for me, you're a king, huh?
No, you're definitely the king.
King by the king, dog.
I mean, this is unbelievable. To be able to have you on the show, to be able to have you bring all these items in and discuss and hear the passion that you have for these jerseys, for the boots, the stories that they tell both individually for you, but also collectively just for the world of football, I think is tremendous. And to hear it from your point of view, we are so thankful for you joining us here on the Guuzan Show.
Don't give my number to anyone, though, please.
We're excited for the summer ahead to see what the new technology is going to be rolled out. And there's no doubt that I'm sure you will be picking up a few items throughout this summer. But in the meantime, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me, dude. I appreciate it. And you're the man. And, like, legit, I don't like to do this, but I need a Guuzan signed shirt. So if you guys can get that, put it on social, I'll come hunting for you. But legit, I've got my security here to come and get this, because we got to get a storage on a plane. So thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Joe, what an episode, man. I mean, the memorabilia, the boots, the jerseys, to have the Boot King in person, in studio, to show off his collection. Amazing, dude.
The fact that we had to glove up in state-of-the-art cotton gloves look like insane. The anecdote he told us about, what was it, finding Pirlo in the elevator? If it was nothing?
Yeah.
And then casually just asking him to sign something that is now, the sheer worth of what we had in this studio is incredible. So we were told through some inside sources that the Boot King was spotted at the Champions League final, that he might be roaming around during the World Cup too, looking for some different sourcers. So insane stuff. And does it make you think of anything, of like your best kit that you might have at home? Like any swap that comes to mind that you're like, oh, maybe this could fit into his collection?
No, but I mean, like, again, I was never... In the moment, I knew it was always something that was cool, right? To be able to swap with, whether it's iconic players or have this shirt or a signature or whatever it was. But I was also very much, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be out there asking for an autograph, or I don't want to be, doing this or swapping with him because everyone's going to swap with him. As I got older, I was able to pull a few strings and use some of the leverage of being an Atlanta United player. And, my kids were able to get Messi's autograph and a picture with him. And he was extremely gracious after one of our games. And so, for that, I'm extremely thankful for, but I've been lucky to be able to compete against some of the best players in the world. And, the likes of Messi and Ronaldo and the Lampards and Gerrards and John Terrys and Ashley Coles and you name Adebayors, Harry Kanes. I've been so fortunate, and so I like to keep it up here. But yeah, there's certainly a few that are there off the top of my head. The guys that I mentioned. I've got a Zlatan LA Galaxy jersey that he signed for me. I've got, I'm trying to think who else. It's not something that I look at every day, and so I almost lose track or almost forgotten about them. My oldest will sometimes go to that part of the closet and be like, "Dad, you've got this jersey, you got that jersey," and the excitement on his face is pretty cool. And then he's like, "So you're really that old?" And I'm like, "Oh, jeez." You played against him? And I was like, oh, gosh,
It's that era, though. It's like that aesthetic of just the late 90s, early 2000s, too. It is so alive right now, too.
Yeah.
It's that era of football, and that's all the Boot Kings collection, too. All that stuff is just prime Ronaldinho, Totti, Zidane. Incredible Rolodex, and crazy to have here on the show as well. Time now, guys, for the Guuuzan Show mailbag, always delivered on time by the Home Depot. Thank you so much to all of our loyal listeners for sending these in wherever you are in Georgia. Speaking of Dahlonega, Georgia, Mike would like to ask, you wake up tomorrow with a dragon in your backyard.
Oh, my gosh.
What do you do?
Guys, I know we said this on previous shows. We appreciate the off-the-wall questions, but, these are out of right field. I think I go back to bed. I think I close my eyes and try to go back to sleep and think, let me pick a new dream here,
Let me eat something different for dinner.
Yeah, exactly. That's quite the dilemma.
That'd be tough.
Coming from, Mike and Dahlonega, what are you doing? I'm curious. You got a dragon in the backyard.
Mike, yeah.
What are you doing?
I would love to know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd call up Connor Tomlinson, bro. I'd be like, bring your
Big shout out, Connor.
Yeah, craziest sword you got out of the collection,
Yeah.
dog. Bring me one too. We go back there, shing, taking
it.
this thing on.
Love that.
How electric would that be, bro?
It'd be depends.
For about 5 seconds.
Yeah, and then listen, I don't know if you're walking away from that, but yeah, fair play.
Ryan, it says from Birmingham, so that could be Alabama, could also be Birmingham, England.
Birmingham.
You never know. Best World Cup stadium for this year. I already know my answer.
Yeah, this is a bit of a no-brainer, really.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how we're meant to reference it, but for me, it's always going to be Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah.
So
Atlanta Stadium.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to call it Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Amen.
I've seen that place absolutely rocking. I know what it's going to be like come World Cup time. It's going to be electric. You talk about prices and the cost surrounding, whether it's stadiums, whether it's tickets, just the cost in general. And a big thing that Mr. Arthur Blank was very persistent on was keeping prices the same for visitors and I think that entire fan experience that you get at Mercedes-Benz Stadium is world class and the best certainly in North America, and so without a doubt, Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yep, for me, it's top 2 in the world. I loved most during the Club World Cup last year when somebody like Pep Guardiola was taking out his phone to take videos of Atlanta Stadium.
Yeah.
Like, he was literally looking up like this, just in complete disbelief. And to think that all the best, 48 of the best nations in the world have the chance to come play at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, too.
Yeah.
It's just, it's crazy how used to it we get as fans, right, and as people who are lucky enough to be around Atlanta United, that's what you call home. So to have that sensation for new people that are there, I would love to see Azteca too. I think in Mexico is going to be really cool as well. But, yeah, for me, MBS is top 2, probably not 2 in the world, which is incredible.
Love it.
And that is our 2 questions. Thank you so much, guys, for sending them in. Big shout out to the Home Depot for getting these questions in, always delivered on time.